Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we're going to look at how we can automate this using CloudFormation. So this is a lab and you will need to log into the AWS console. Okay, so I'm in the AWS console. CloudFormation comes under Management and Governance and it's in here. So go ahead and click on CloudFormation. Now we've never used CloudFormation before, so what we want to do is go ahead and create a stack. We're actually going to use a sample stack, and if we click in here, we can do a WordPress blog. And you can actually go and view or edit the stack in the template designer. It's completely beyond the scope of this course to teach you CloudFormation. You don't really need to know it at all for your exam. You just need to know what it is essentially. However, if you want to work as a solutions architect in the real world, you need to know CloudFormation inside out. So we do have some deep dive courses on CloudFormation on the Cloud Guru platform. Here you could either upload your own template to S3 or you could specify basically a URL where you've already got a template in S3. We're not going to do that. We're just going to use their standard template. Go ahead and hit next. In here, we're going to do our stack name. So we're going to call it My WordPress Blog, something like that. DB name, Cloud Guru. DB password, Cloud Guru. DB root password, Cloud Guru. DB user, Cloud Guru. So I'm just going to fill in Cloud Guru for pretty much anything. In here, this is the key name. So this is the name of existing EC2 key pair. So I'm going to use my Irish key pair, which I've already got. And this is just allows us to enter in where we can SSH in. So we're going to leave it open to the world. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. In here, we've got our options. So we can add some tags. So we could say name, my WordPress CloudFormation template. Down here, our IAM role. We don't actually need to add a role. And down here, our rollback triggers, we can just leave that as is. Rollback triggers basically enable you to have CloudFormation monitor the state of your application during the stack creation, and then they'll roll back that operation if the application breaches a threshold for any alarm that we specify. We don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and just hit next. And then it will give us a review of our stack. And all we need to do now is go ahead and hit create. Now this can take some time. You'll see all your events down here. Basically, this is going to go through and provision our WordPress site on an EC2 instance. I think it might create an RDS instance. I'm not actually sure. We'll have to see what happens. But we'll be able to go in and see all these assets once this CloudFormation template has finished provisioning. So I'm just going to pause the video and wait for this stack to come up online. Okay, if I maximize my events, we can see down here, the status has changed to create in progress to create complete. If I just do a refresh, I think we can refresh here as well, you'll be able to see a log of all the different events that have occurred. And we should, if we are able to go to our outputs, it'll give us our URL for our WordPress site. If we click on that, it should launch and this installation screen, and we can go ahead and install WordPress. Now I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but I am going to go ahead and have a look at the resources. In here we can see that the resources is just an EC2 instance as well as a web server security group, so it doesn't seem to be using RDS. What we can do is we can just go over and check. So you can go over to RDS and see if there's an RDS database that has been provisioned. Because I'm getting this splash screen, there definitely isn't, so it's just done, it's installed MySQL on our EC2 instance. And we can see our EC2 instance in here. And here it is, my WordPress CloudFormation template. So that's our EC2 instance in there. So that's how CloudFormation works. This is an incredibly simple CloudFormation template. You can have CloudFormation templates that deploy really, really super advanced stuff. And to get a feel for what's available out there, check out AWS Quick Starts, and I'll leave a link in the resources section of the course. But essentially, you can go ahead and launch really super complicated environments using CloudFormation templates that have been designed by AWS solutions architects. So if we went in and we had a look, just trying to find the Microsoft ones. So this is a new, if you go by use case, you can go down here and have a look at all the different use cases. So if we go over to Microsoft, for example, we can go through and launch a Microsoft Active Directory environment, or we could go through and launch an Exchange server environment, or you could do SharePoint environment. We have a quick look. You can go here and just hit View Guide. It's going to take about 3 hours to deploy according to this. It was last updated in March 2018. And you can just go through and read through this documentation. And when you want to go ahead and launch, you just basically click this button And what it will do is it will fire up CloudFormation, and it will basically pre-populate that S3 URL with the launch template for SharePoint. And you can create super complicated environments using Quick Start. And you don't need to know anything about CloudFormation. Amazon have already done all this for you. So let's see how we can go ahead and delete that environment now, because we don't need it anymore. Just go over to CloudFormation and click on it. Then click on the stack, and all you need to do is go to your actions and hit delete stack. That'll delete the stack, and by default it will delete all the resources in the stack as well. So it's going to delete our EC2 instance. So onto my exam tips around CloudFormation. Just remember what CloudFormation is. CloudFormation is a way of completely scripting your cloud environment. And then Quick Start is a bunch of CloudFormation templates already built by AWS solutions architects, allowing you to create complex environments very, very quickly. So now that we know what CloudFormation is, we need to look at one more technology, which is AWS Elastic Beanstalk. It's going to be a really, really quick lecture, about 5 minutes or less. Essentially, you just need to know what Elastic Beanstalk is. And then you finish the high availability section of the course, and we're just going to do a summary. So if you've got the time, please join me in the next lecture. Thank you.